Hello, hello, my lovely angels. This is your girl Sim back with another episode of the Sim Squad. Hi. So, as requested by you, today we are going to delve into the world of fairy lore. Now, we had done the vampiric fragrances, and very soon I'll be doing some other ones as well, like mermaid ones, which is again, aquatics and all that. But the fairy lore, that's the one that attracted me the most. I apologize for my voice because everybody's down with the flu and I'm just recovering right now. So I might be breathing a little heavily. You might hear me going because I'm like so out of breath all the time off late. So yeah, about fairy lore. I don't know much about it. To be honest with you, the only reason why I'm doing this is because it was requested so highly by you guys. Like everybody was like, try to fairy lore, like all the. Now the thing is, the moment you think fairy lore, you think oh fresh, effervescent, earthy, flowers, forest, moss. This is what comes to mind. Tinkerbell. That's the first thing that comes to my mind at least because I'm not much into fairy lore. So for me, Tinkerbell was like the OG fairy. And you know how her personality is? She's a bit selfish, she's very whimsical, she's very naughty. As far as I knew, it was like, okay, they're tiny, but they can grow and become big. But then I thought, you know what? It's me, right? So I was like, okay, let me find out a little bit more about fairies. And I was so shocked. I was so shocked because there are certain fairies that I thought was like they were different creatures altogether, but they're not. They're like part of the fairy lore, right? So now because I am getting all the information from the net, like I try to browse through all different sorts of Wikipedia, this, that, but I came across this one particular website. So I'm going to give the credit to this website for this video because without the information on this website, I couldn't have made this video. It is called fairytaleapothecary.com. I'm going to put it like here. And then I'm going to put it in the description as well, just in case you want to go and revisit all the text I'm going to blab. It's not mine. It's not my imagination. This is all from this website. So let's begin. Now, fairies are mentioned in many, many, many cultures like Slavic, Gaelic, all the way also to Persian. So maybe they're not called fairies, but it's the same idea. Now, that's why I'm relying on this particular website because I'm going to be too confused and I'm going to confuse you guys. So I'm sure many of you all must be like a lot into this, so you will know better, but I'm trying to do my best. Sir, do you want to come on camera? Let me bring Marcus. So Marcus has not appeared on camera for a long time, so I thought he's become even more fluffy. Look at the camera, smile for your fans. My channel is too small for his appearances. He's like 16K, reach 100K and then we'll talk. Marcus, your treats and food is paid by the people who are watching you right now. Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, so that was Marcus. Sometimes I feel like there's a little human inside him, and this is just like his coat. So let's start with the first one, which is called the Seelie Court. Now, Seelie Court, also known as the Blessed Court, is one of the two major courts of the Fae or Fairy. It is said that Seelie Court is composed of the most benevolent fairies who are known for their love of beauty and the kindness towards human beings. Yeah, these are the nice ones. So before I go dark very soon, let me finish with these. Now the first one that appears, there are three fairies, the type of fairies in the Seelie Court. The first one is Pixies. Pixies are one of the most well-known members of the Seelie Court. They are small winged fairies that are known for their mischievous nature. Think Tinkerbell. I think she's a pixie. Pixies are often depicted as playful tricksters who love to play pranks on humans. They are also known for their love of music, and it is said that they can often be heard singing and playing instruments in the woods. So obviously, like I had to associate one perfume with the Seelie Court Pixies, and that was, trust me, there were so many, because this was a particular category which I was like, I can have so many perfumes in this. But because I love this perfume so much, I was like, it fits perfectly. It's airy, it's light, it's not very complicated. It smells exactly what I feel Pixies would smell like. And that is the Mohra Silky Rose by Lattafa. I know you guys are like sick and tired of me of mentioning this perfume like on my channel, but I can't help it. I just love it. Especially because it's summer now. It's like if I want to feel like a fairy, I'm going to wear this. Like I have like many other ones which you will also relate to fairies. Pixies maybe, So let me know in the comment like which one would you associate with each and every category that I'm going to mention. But as for Pixies, this is like a lychee rose fragrance. It's very, very fresh. It's juicy. It does feel whimsical, fresh, airy, naughty a little bit. You know, it's beautiful. Plus, it does feel benevolent. Like it doesn't feel, what do you call it? What's the opposite of benevolent? We'll find out soon. Anyhow, so this is the one I thought was perfectly fit for Pixies. Next category is Sprites. By the way, I think I'm a Sprite. If I was a fairy, I would probably be this one. Sprites are another member of the Seelie Court. They are small, delicate fairies. Okay, I'm not small and delicate, but okay. They are small, delicate fairies that are known for their beauty and grace. Sprites are often depicted as shy and quiet, and they are said to be very protective of nature. They are also known for their ability to control the weather, and it is said that they can bring rain or sunshine depending on their mood. So yeah, maybe I'm not a sprite. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm one of the unseelie ones, you know. So anyhow, the perfume I thought was appropriate for this because sunshine, rain, moody, shy, quiet, doesn't want to be noticed too much. So it has to be a wallflower kind of perfume. It cannot be like in your face, out there, you know. Well, anyways, none of these perfumes are going to be in your face unless it's okay. Let me not ruin the surprise. But for the sprites, I thought Ghality would be the appropriate one. Now you guys must be seeing, you just mentioned these for your vacation in Bali, what's going on, you know? No, this one is such a fairy perfume. Even the, come on, even the packaging. I know it looks like the Gucci collection thingy, but this perfume, it's becoming an obsession all over again. Like initially when I bought it, I was using it, but I guess the maceration was not all that achieved yet. But off late, I've been revisiting it because it's summer again and I love it so much. I love it so much now. It's like ridiculous how much I've been using it. This is your light, airy perfume. Ultimately, it becomes very woody. You know, it has this prominent pencil shaving kind of note, but in the background, you have your soft, very, very soft flowers. It is slightly sweet, but not like too sweet. It has a perfect balance of what I would call a fruity floral, but then with very, very heavy pencil shaving note. Which is why I thought the description of Sprites was like perfectly appropriate for Ghality. This is by Ardal Zafran for anybody who does not know. I would associate this with a person who's a wallflower, doesn't want to be noticed, but yeah, it does like things quietly, achieves a lot, but very quietly, you know. Beautiful, light, airy, summer perfume, gorgeous scent. It's perfect for the Sprites. The next category is the Sylphs. Sylphs are the most ethereal members of the Seelie Court. They are tall, slender fairies that are known for their ability to fly. Sylphs are often depicted as wise and mysterious, and they are said to have the power to control the winds. They are also known for their love of music, and it is said that they can often be heard singing hauntingly, not like Marcus, in the forest. He just ruined the vibe, didn't he? Marcus, just a sec. Marcus likes sleeping in Ali's cupboard for some reason, and he shouts and screams till I don't open the cupboard for him to go in Ali's clothes and sleep over there. So he won't disturb us for the rest of the video. So when it came to Sylphs, this was like a no-brainer for me, and I think for you guys as well. If you think like light, airy, ozonic, like the one perfume comes to mind is Baccarat Rouge 540. And the equivalent for me, the best one out of all the ones I had, is the Club de Nuit Untold. I mean, look at the bottle itself. I mean, it's so ethereal, which is what like is described for Sylphs. And this perfume, I mean, it's exactly like Baccarat Rouge. You know, the more it's sitting on the shelf, the more stronger it's getting. Like I've used up like quite a bit of it. Now for you guys, this might not be a big dent, but for me it is with like all these perfumes. So just remember when I make dents like this, which is like almost 1/4 of the perfume gone, I use it a lot. This is the perfect description I would think for a Sylph. It's very, very ozonic, very, very like you feel like you're in the air, flying, levitating or whatever. Also the fact that it's ethereal. If you remember, the celebrity I gave this to was Tilda Swinton. And you know how she is as well? Like she would be like the perfect Sylph. So yeah, that's that. Armaf Club de Nuit Untold. Now this was the first coat, right? Now there's a second coat, which is like the not very kind, not very... That is called the Unseelie Court. The Unseelie Court is a group of fairies that are considered to be darker and more malevolent. Okay, so benevolent and malevolent. Counterparts of the Seelie Court. They are known for their mischievous and often cruel behavior towards humans and other fairies alike. These are not so cool. They're not very nice. When I read the descriptions and the types, I was like, I don't know, those were fairies, you know, like I mean, I knew of them, but they were scary. Like when I read it, I actually got goosebumps. I was like, oh my gosh, you know. So we're going to start off with the first one, which is the Redcaps. Redcaps are one of the most feared members of the Unseelie Court. They are known for their violent tendencies and their love of bloodshed. I mean, Redcaps are often depicted wearing a red cap that is stained with blood of their victims. They are said to be able to move incredibly fast and are known for their strength and agility. Like it kind of like ruined my childhood, you know. I was like, oh, I thought fairies were all like these mythical creatures that are like roaming around in the forest, being happy, like, you know, making songs and like, you know, making the world a better place for some reason, hanging out with Peter Pan, and then this happens. Red caps, you know. Now, because they're so fierce, because they're so dark, because they are stained with blood and all the gory details, the only perfume that I could think of was, it has to be an oud perfume. Now, the thing is that I've associated so many of these perfumes, the oud ones, to vampires. It was kind of difficult for me to figure out what would a red cap smell like. But then there was this one winner. I was like, dude, it has to be this one. It was Majd Sultan. This is like notorious, the most in your face. It almost smells, I wouldn't even say animalic. It's very, very incensey, but it does smell something that would come out of a fairy tale or a dark lore, or like somewhere which is which has a little bit of a dark energy, which is why this also made an appearance in my vampire video. And I guess, like, you know, funny enough, like, I've not used much of it because you don't really need to use, like, you don't really need to spray much of this perfume to smell good the rest of the day. But yeah, this is one of those fragrances that came to mind. The second one which came to mind was, of course, like Badi al Oud. But then I was like, no, that is not, it doesn't make me feel doom. It doesn't make me feel like this gloomy atmosphere, you know, because this is incensey. It has this very grounding, but not in a nice way. Okay, it is a nice way grounding in the perfume, but I'm trying to create a picture for you guys. It's grounding to a level that you're very close to the ground and you're scouring the earth for victims, you know, that. So this would be my perfume for the red caps. Guys, please feel free. This is like my interpretation of each of these fairies. Please feel free to comment what you think and everything. And please, guys, like, don't comment like, are you kidding me? Do you think this? Stop it, you know, stop. My opinion is mine. Give yours. Welcome to. That's your opinion, yeah? The next one was Boggarts. And the moment I heard Boggarts, I was like, Harry Potter. You know, and Boggarts were like, you know, it was scary. Like, if I came across a Boggart, what would it turn into? I'm scared of so many things. So I don't know if my Boggart would like shapeshift into different things and confuse itself, you know. But for this, okay, let me tell you the description. So Boggarts are mischievous fairies that are known for their love of pranks and their ability to shapeshift. So basically what happens is a Boggart will take the shape of the thing you fear the most. So if like you're scared of clowns, it will take the form of a clown. If you're scared of, I don't know, Freddy Krueger, you know, it'll look like Freddy Krueger. So it's like a lot of like, it can just shapeshift into your worst nightmare. They're often depicted as small mischievous creatures causing chaos and confusion. Boggarts are said to be able to change their shape to anything they desire, making them difficult to catch or control. So a Boggart could be like amongst other, who wouldn't know, so scary. And the perfume that came to mind instantly was like Nasheet. I was like, bro, this is like it. This is such a weird perfume to actually define because it has very herbal quality, herbal in the sense, not even herbal, I would call it aromatic because it smells very much like frankincense or menthol or eucalyptus along with a lot of vanilla. So it does have this like a weird like quality of not really like gelling with each other, the ingredients, which is why the whole shape-shifting thing made sense to me with Nasheet. I think this is a gorgeous, gorgeous scent. If you like a weird twist on a vanilla perfume, go for this one. This is like, not everybody will like it. I'm not saying this is a blind buy, but if you like weird fragrances, Ani, this is supposed to be the dupe for Ani by Nishane. So if you like Ani, you're going to love this one. Now the last from the Unseelie Court is the Banshees, and we all know what Banshees are. The Banshee scream, it's like so famous, right? Banshees are fairies that are known for their ability to predict death. I didn't know that. and their eerie, wailing calls. Like literally, like I used to like joke around, like you know when the kids are screaming in the mall out of control, parents not being able to control them and they're on the floor like throwing a tantrum, and that scream they do, I always imagine banshees would sound like that. They're often depicted as ghostly figures that appear to warn humans of impending doom. Banshees are said to be able to appear to in various forms, including that of a beautiful woman or a old hag. I'm like, why? Why would the banshees do that? Like, just coming to deliver like bad news. Just come as a beautiful woman. At least, the least you can do is that, you know. It says no, including that of a beautiful woman or a terrifying hag. Why? And the perfume I thought for this one was Empire Victor by Khadlaj. Now, this is one of the most animalic ouds I've ever like laid my nose upon. It's one of the old ouds, but it also has this very grounding vanilla. It's a very, very strong caramelly vanilla, very, very gourmandy, but the stark contrast of like this animalic oud in it, it makes this perfume so interesting. And it smells wise. It smells something that would like something which is like old and like wise because it's been through years and centuries of wisdom, and then it's matured into this perfume, you know. It's a gorgeous perfume, so please do not like think of old hag while wearing this perfume. It could be a very beautiful woman too, right? A banshee. And this one screams for attention. That's why I was like, you know what, this would be the smell of a banshee for sure. Also, guys, all the perfumes I'm listing over here, these are all the perfumes I like, right? So if I had to associate Unseelie Court with like bad perfumes, that would be a completely different story. But I'm associating them with perfumes I like. So now we are finished with the Seelie Court and the Unseelie Court. Next we have the elementals. Elementals are fairies that are closely associated with the four elements, of course, of nature, that are earth, air, fire, water. They're believed to be the guardians of these elements and are known to possess great powers related to their respective elements. Why do I have a flower in my hair? I don't know, I thought like fairies. Ugh, you know, yeah, just the Seelie Court, the representation. So the first one are gnomes. Now I don't know because gnomes are like for me only garden gnomes and then they make shoes or whatever. I don't know, but wait, those are elves. What do gnomes do? They also make shoes, right? Okay. Gnomes are earth elements. Okay, so they're earth, which is why I think they are placed in gardens. Gnomes are earth elementals and are known for their connection to earth and its energies. They are often depicted as small, stout sorry. They're often depicted as small, stout creatures with a love of gardening and mining. I'm so sorry, I don't know why I laughed. Gnomes are known to be hardworking and loyal, and they're said to possess great knowledge of the earth's secrets. They are also known for their ability to manipulate the earth and create illusions. Why I'm laughing is when they said small and stout, I imagined a teapot. Guys, this is my imagination. I'm telling you, like, if you live in my head, you're gonna laugh all the time. It's like some weird shit goes on in my head all the time. Because they're so earth element. So I wanted it to be like something related to gardening, fruitfulness, like abundance, like but like a lot of earthiness. So I wanted to give it Lee Prestige, Empress by Khadlaj. This is like probably the best green citrus I've ever come across. It's super green, like it smells exactly how the bottle looks like. It's very fresh, it's very, starts off very, very bergamot, like you just know it's bergamot with some greenness. And then it continues to become like a very earthy, mossy green perfume. And I thought it was perfect for a garden gnome, or a gnome, sorry, I should stop calling it garden gnome. Gnome. I associate this perfume like with the forest or with like a lot of greenness. It's just so beautiful. Like literally when I've sprayed it, like I had predicted that this perfume is going to go viral. It's going viral. It's going viral very, very slowly. I just know this is going to reach the level of Harim al Sultan. I'm telling you guys, this perfume. By the way, when you get it, don't judge the perfume. Let it, once you spray out the perfume, some weird thing happens with the maceration. I think the oxidization happens because the air is like rotated within the pipe, right? And that's when this perfume starts changing so much and becomes so much stronger, so much better. I love this perfume. I am in absolute awe of this perfume. So this is like the apt perfume for a gnome. Next we have salamanders. Now I do not know salamanders or fairies either. See, when I say gnomes, salamander, banshees. Salamanders are fire elementals and are associated with the element of fire. They're often depicted as small lizard-like creatures, salamanders, with a fiery temperament. Salamanders are known for their ability to control and manipulate fire. They are said to be able to create fire out of thin air. You know, they're also believed to be able to control the temperature of their surroundings. And of course, okay, it's weird that I picked another khadlaj for this one. It was an easy choice. It's Intoxicate. This is the dupe for Angel Share by Killian. The most, I feel, the most warm fragrance ever created is this one. The moment you lay your nose on it, you just know it's associated somehow to warmth. It's very hot, not even warm. I could have given like Salamanders any of the spicy perfumes from the Middle East. And I was contemplating between this one and the Amber Oud by Al Haramain, but the tobacco edition. That's also like very warm and hot, like fiery. But for some reason I was like, nah, it has to be this one. And I'm glad I did, because like when I'm like sniffing it, perfect, like perfectly giving that magical ability to create fire out of thin air, you know, like things like that, like controlling the temperature. Like you spray this, suddenly you feel like the atmosphere around you has become hot. It literally feels like, you know, when you're really, really cold, like in the snow, and you enter the cabin and you need to drink that, the drink, brandy or whatever, and then you start getting warm immediately. It's that, yeah. So this one for the salamanders. Next we have the Undines. Undines are water elementals and are associated with the element of water. They're often depicted as beautiful ethereal creatures with a love for water. Undines are known for their ability to control and manipulate water, and they are said to be able to communicate with aquatic creatures. And they're also believed to have healing powers and are often associated with the concept of purification. And yeah, of course, I did not even have to think twice. It was the Natural Intense by Latafa. This is such an aquatic scent thanks to that lotus and the water lily in it. It smells very mild. It smells very aquatic. It smells very... There's so many aquatic perfumes I could have associated, but this one has like that magic quality, that fig mixed with all those florals. Like the moment you smell it, you're like, it feels more like a pond with like lotus and water lily and everything, and you're sitting close to it on like grass or something. It's a very, very natural. So you know the name Natural Intense Latava. By the way, the name is such a weird name. Like for some odd reason, it's not a difficult name or a weird name, but it's difficult for me to. And I think a lot of you all have that problem, right? Natural Intense Latafa. It doesn't smell like. It doesn't sound like a name. It sounds like an extension of the name, Natural Intense. So Natural Intense is perfect for the Undines because, you know, while it is airy, it's not the airy. It's not like Untold, which is like ozonic. This is more like the water, the lightness of water, the what do you call it? Malleability of water, like to, you know, it's like, I feel it's like super malleable. It's very, very little bit unpredictable because you smell it like at different times of the day and it smells completely different. And I thought this was like a truly magical perfume. I've been gravitating towards it a little bit more because it's getting warmer and warmer than Dubai. And now I feel even the maceration, I kind of feel like it's changing a little. It's becoming what it is supposed to be. So I am appreciating it like slowly, a little bit more. But I think it still needs like another 1 month for it to macerate like completely. So I'm going to use it because the more I use it, the more air circulates and it macerates more. Now the Fairy Tale Apothecary did not list an air element, okay? I'm assuming it's because it's a sylph. So maybe it's crossing over into the Seelie Court and this. If you know which one it is, let me know. But in case there was a fairy associated with air, I would give it to Musk Po Nasis by Khadlaj. It's weird that this whole elemental thing had a lot of Khadlaj perfumes. This one, oh my god. It's a musk bomb, by the way. Musky, light, smells literally like fresh linen. A fresh linen shop would smell like this. That's all I can say. There's some floral going on, but you can't like, it says Narcisse, but it's Narcisse is not listed as a note. But this is how like I would imagine fresh linen and Narcisse would smell together. Stunning scent. This would be the airy element for me, the air elemental. It's like the perfect example of how an air elemental would feel like. Let me know if you know which one is the air elemental because it was not listed on this website. And I'm sticking to this website because if I like, you know, branch out into different ones, it's like a whole it's a black hole of fairy lore. It's like so many of them, you know, even the woodland ones, they're like so many of them. So like I'm just doing the basic ones. Next we have a different category. So you had the Seelie Court, Unseelie Court, then you had the elementals. Now you have two more. This one is the changelings. This one is like the scariest one. Although they're not supposed to be evil or anything, but they freak me out. Like the whole concept of changelings, it just like spooks me out. Changelings are known as shapeshifters, are a type of fae that are known for the ability to change their appearance. They are often depicted as mischievous and cunning, and they have been the subject of many legends and myths throughout history. Changelings are said to be able to take on any form of a living creature, from animals to humans. They are often associated with babies, as it was believed that fairies would steal human babies and replace them with changelings. The changeling would then grow up in the human world, causing chaos and mischief wherever they went. Despite their mischievous nature, changelings are not necessarily evil. I think they are. They're simply creatures of the fairy realm with their own set of rules and customs. If you ever encounter a changeling, it is best to treat them with respect and caution, as they can be very unpredictable and dangerous if provoked. How will I ever know that's a changeling? So of course, like, I was like, oh, that's spooky, it's weird, it's like changelings, you know. Anyhow, the perfume that came to mind. This is the most important part. It's a duo. So I thought Ajayeb portrait, Dubai portrait, and Ajayeb Dubai, these two together, individually or this one, you know, separately or together, mixed together, it's like the changeling perfume I would imagine. First of all, when you spray this, the amount it changes from the opening to the dry down is ridiculous. How much it has been changing since maceration is another story. I think I did a maceration update video and this was a part of it. Same goes with this one. Initially it smelled like popcorn to me, like the caramelized popcorn. Now it does not smell like that. It does still. It's kind of like Ishkal Shuyuk with popcorn. I can't explain it. It's like a mild, very, very mild version of Ishkal Shuyuk with less sweetness and popcorn. Combine them together, these two, and it creates the most beautiful perfume that you can imagine. I always tell you guys that this one on its own is gorgeous. This one, it's okay, not wow, okay, but these two together, it's a 10 out of 10. The kind of fairy tales, like, you know, the movies, when you make movies out of it, they become a success because they're dark, you know. Changelings. Now this is the last one, and I'm very sad to actually do this because I was loving filming this video. The last ones are the nymphs. Nymphs are the type of fairies that are commonly associated with nature. They are often depicted as beautiful ethereal beings that live in the forests, meadows, and bodies of water. Now nymphs, usually we think of them as somewhere deep in the forest, there's like a water body and they're in it, right? And then they seduce men or whatever. Nymphs are known for the beauty and grace. They're often depicted as slender with delicate features and long flowing hair. Their skin is usually pale and flawless, and they have a natural radiance that seems to emanate from within. Nymphs are closely connected to nature world and have a deep understanding of its rhythms and cycles. They are often associated with specific elements such as trees, flowers, and bodies of water. Nymphs are known for their ability to heal and rejuvenate living things. They are often sought out for their medicinal properties. I thought nymphs were the ones who like seduce and drown. No, wait, those were something else. Anywho, let me not like complicate stuff. The perfume, which was like nymph for me, you know, was the Mystique Bouquet by Afnan. This is like the dupe for Walaya by Perfumes de Mali. And I think this is like perfect because it gives you water, it gives you earth, gives you greenness, forest, everything all together. Oh, so beautiful. Also, it's so attractive, but it's very light. So only when you're close to like a nymph, you would like actually get this, you know. But it does give you that foresty vibe along with like, you know, where the air is pure, the forest like has like, it's very quiet, like not inhabited by humans at all. And then there's this water body and there are nymphs in it. And the atmosphere would smell like this. So I feel like nymphs would probably emanate the light and everything, and the smell, that would be this one, Mystique Bouquet. Well, that should do it for you. I'm not gonna look at fairies the same all how I used to Tinkerbell and stuff, like all like, you know, cutesy and stuff. I would beware of fairies next time. Did you like this video, guys? Did it come up to your expectations? You know, like I know, like when people said they wanted to know the fairy perfumes from me, I know they were expecting all these very ethereal kind of smelling perfumes. But sorry, like when it comes to me, it's like I'm gonna deep like dive into the world of like fairies and exactly what they are. Like I know this is like barely touching the surface. Like I'm sure a lot of you all are into fairy lore and it's a whole world altogether. By the way, this video is not meant to offend anybody. Please, please, please. This is just for entertainment purposes, okay? Just my knowledge. I literally went to one website because it was too overwhelming for me to understand. So please know that yes, I'm illiterate when it comes to fairies. So please don't get offended if you're into that kind of things, or if you believe, if you have some kind of belief system with fairies, which I wouldn't be aware of. I don't even know if something like that exists. Also, the reason why I didn't spray too many perfumes around me today is because I'm coughing a lot and I don't want to overwhelm my lungs even more. You know, I'm trying to do a recovery. So that's it for today, guys. Did you like this video? Please let me know. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to do the mermaid thing, the mermaid ones. And I'm sure like now I think Ariel literally it's just mermaid, you know. But when I'm gonna go into the world of it, I'm sure it's gonna be like dark and weird. I am assuming that all these fairy tales have come from what are those brothers? Those German brothers? I'm gonna put the name. I don't want to say the wrong name, but those guys had those like very creepy fairy tales, right? And I think even the mermaids, like they kind of like made up the story for the first time or whatever. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'll do a whole thing about mermaids as well for you soon. I have a haul ready with me and I want to really, really do it. But like I do a haul of 5 usually and I have 4. And very requested perfumes are in that. But there's one more perfume that I need to add to it. And then I'm going to like reveal that haul, which hopefully will be filmed and uploaded next week itself. So just wait for that, yeah? Do you want me to give you spoilers? Okay, it has Eclair. It has Afnan's Cherry Bouquet, which is like very anticipated for me at least. You know me, I love cherry fragrances. It has the Asrar, which is like the Dew for Guidance, and a couple of others. So let me not completely spoil it, but that's gonna be next week. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye!